They finally did it. Luis Robert is on the move. Cody Bellinger has been signed. We have the Twins making a 1-to-1 swap. I think it made them better. And we have the 2026 Hall of Fame inductees to talk about. All that here on episode 5 of Warning Track Power. Let's get into it. Let's start with the Luis Robert Jr. trade. He has been in the trade talks since that really good 2023 season. He really hasn't been the same since then. Luis Robert Jr., he is a Met. He was traded there for infielder slash outfielder Luis Angel Acuna. Yes, that is Ronald Acuna Jr.'s younger brother. And a right-handed pitcher by the name of Truman Pauly. Those guys are going back to the White Sox in return for Robert. Obviously, the Mets needed a center fielder. Now you can go Carson Bench, Luis Robert Jr., and Juan Soto. That's a pretty good outfield, in my opinion. And, well, you get rid of Luis Angel Acuna, who was kind of blocked in that infield that now has Simeon and always have had Lindor. They got Polanco in free agency, Vientos. So he really was kind of blocked in that infield. So good to get rid of him. Obviously, the White Sox are the White Sox, but I think this move does make the White Sox a little interesting, as they do need some infield, as a lot of people do forget. In that Garrett Crochet trade, they also got Braden Montgomery. So he will be up whenever he comes up, and he'll play outfield. He should be really good. I don't totally hate the White Sox going into 2026, which I feel is weird to say, but it's just the truth, kind of. I mean, this team will be interesting. Is it still the fifth place finisher? Absolutely. But they're gonna win some more games than they did in the previous 2 seasons. That's for sure. One center fielder in Luis Robert gets traded, and next thing you know, a center fielder is off the free agent board. Cody Bellinger has signed a contract, and I know in previous episodes of this podcast I said that he wasn't going to go back to the Yankees, but the Yankees did it. They got their big free agent signing. They gave him a bag, and he got his opt-outs. Let's talk about this contract and what it means for the New York Yankees. We will start with the contract details. Cody Bellinger gets 5 years and $162.5 million from the Yankees. That includes a $20 million signing bonus. Now, this contract is going to be front-loaded, which means the first 2 years he is going to get $32.5 million, and then the last 3 years he will get $25.8 million plus the signing bonus and incentives. He has opt-outs after the second and third year, but each of those opt-outs will be pushed back if we have no baseball in 2027 due to the lockout, which is something that I really do think is going to happen. If you guys want more about my thoughts on the lockout, watch episode 3. That has all of the stuff about the lockout in there as well. So now, what does this mean for the New York Yankees? Well, obviously, your outfield now is Judge and right, Grisham in center, and Bellinger in left, likely. Now, if you do that, do you move on from Jason Dominguez? I mean, he had a lot of stock. He hasn't really performed. That stock has kind of gone lower. Do you want to trade Austin Wells or Ben Rice and have whichever one you don't trade catch and have Bellinger play first if you still want Dominguez? They have options. I mean, you could platoon him, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense considering Bellinger can hit well from both against both-handed pitchers, which is pretty valuable. He plays good defense, so you don't really have a like DH treatment for him. I mean, do you want to move on from Stanton? I mean, he is getting older. And he's not getting any faster, that's for sure. And at least you got the DH spot for him because, geez, that guy in the outfield is something to watch, that's for sure. In a bad way, of course. So, Yankees fans, down in the comments, what are you guys doing? Do you guys want to trade Stanton, even though I don't think you're going to be able to? You want to trade Dominguez? Same thing. Don't really think you're going to be able to. Do you have Dominguez go to the bench? Do you trade Ben Rice or Austin Wells? How is Bellinger going to fit in here? And I really do think that Trent Grisham taking that qualifying offer did kind of screw up your offseason, in my opinion. But let me know in the comments what you would do. I'll respond with my thoughts down there. The Minnesota Twins and Boston Red Sox have made a swap. To the Boston Red Sox, Nate Baez, a catcher prospect, and to the Twins, infielder Tristan Gray, whom they acquired earlier this offseason. And this does clear the 40-man spot on Boston's roster for Ranger Suarez, so that deal is officially official. And that's just about all I got. I mean, Tristan Gray will probably be a good pickup for the Twins. He'll probably start there. He probably would not have been starting in Boston. So, good job, Twins. I don't know a lot about Nate Baez's game, but we will see how this pans out for both sides. Now, before I go over the Hall of Fame inductees for the 2026 MLB season, I would like to highlight some small moves. The Mets sign relief pitcher slash starting pitcher right-hander Luis Garcia. And to clear the roster spot for him, they designate Sheng-Shei Chen for assignment. The Cubs and Trent Thornton agree to a minor league deal, and the St. Louis Cardinals hire Yadier Molina as a special assistant. So I'm just happy to see Yadier Molina back with the game of baseball. I mean, I get that he's going to manage for Puerto Rico Puerto Rico in the WBC, but welcome back to the game of baseball, Yadier Molina. Even more fitting that it's the Cardinals. And finally, the 2026 MLB Hall of Fame inductees, and who really got kind of snubbed. You saw Andrew Jones is the first one. He received 78.4% of ballots he appeared on. Carlos Beltran is the second one. He appeared on 84.2% of ballots. And Jeff Kent, he was inducted by the ERA Committee into the Hall of Fame. So good for those guys. And then you look further down the ballot and you see Chase Utley got 59% of the vote, which was the highest among the candidates who were not elective. And first-year candidates, Cole Hamels he was on 23.8% of ballots, which means he received more than 5% necessary to remain under consideration. And all but one player fell off the ballot, was up for consideration for the first time. The lone exception is Manny Ramirez, who drops off after coming short in his 10th year. And judging by him not being eligible for Hall of Fame, I likely doubt Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens will be in there as well. Next year will be the final consideration for Omar Vizquel, who has no chance of jumping from 18% to induction. Buster Posey and John Lester headline a class of the first-time candidates next year that will also include Ryan Zimmerman, Kyle Seager, Brett Gardner, and Jake Arrieta. Posey seems likely to get serious consideration for first ballot induction, as he was one of the best catchers of the modern generation. And John Lester should easily have enough support to get more than 5% remain on the ballot for future. So that's it for today's episode of Warning Track Power. Let me know what you make of some of these moves. Let me know your thoughts, especially Yankees fans. What do you guys think of Bellinger? What do you guys think of the way you're going to maneuver things? Mets fans, what do you think of Luis Robert? The Twins, do you guys like your little swap with the Red Sox? Hall of Fame inductees, agree with them, disagree with them, let me know why. And until next time on Warning Track Power, where we're just a few feet short of the fences, but all in on the game. See you guys next time.